Hello, my name is Jack Scott, and I'd like to tell you a story about my life. I was in the 4th grade, and I was entering into an elementary school science fair project, and the project that I chose to do was on the study of electromagnets and electricity. My dad and I took a private field trip down to the local Bakersfield dump there in my hometown, where I got to watch this giant electromagnet pick up massive amounts of metal and move them from one location into the other. Now, being the young 10-year-old that I was, I didn't really understand how electricity worked, so my mind was pretty blown. I got to go inside of the crane and watch the operator do his job, see how everything worked. I even had a little hard hat on, and I felt pretty professional. And it was in that moment that I actually believed what I wanted to do with my life for the first time. I even ended up getting a really good grade on that project because it was the first time I actually believed I loved what I was doing. Now, as time moved on, I moved into my young adolescent years, and my small passion for electricity was soon flooded out by the passion of a young adolescent teenager, those being sports, young love, immature things, momentary satisfaction, all that stuff. And I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and I didn't care at all. I just wanted to live in the moment as a teenager and enjoy my life while I could, take over the world while I still can. Now, sooner or later, my high school career would come to a close, and it was in the latter half of my senior year where my life would soon change forever. This is the part of where I tell you the climactic part of my story. It was a couple months after my first Aloha dance when I found out that I was about to be an 18-year-old father. I felt my life take a really hard turn, and the destination where I was going looked a lot different than what I had pictured. Everything I wanted to do, everything I wanted to be, was kind of thrown out the window and took a back seat, and I was left with nothing but a little child in my arms and some faith that everything would be okay. Luckily, I had the best support group behind me. I had my family, my parents, who at first you can imagine had a hard time with it, but as time moved on, they supported me in every decision that I made, and I had great friends. A lot of those people who I thought were my friends kind of, ostracized me, but that's okay. It was their decision. I held nothing against them, but it got to show me who my true friends were and what really mattered in my life. And most importantly, I found my foundation in God, and He led me to where I am today. And that being said, fast forward to 2 years later, looking back on what I went through, I'm just very grateful for my mistakes. I wouldn't change it for the world. That experience allowed me to get rid of all the stuff inside my life that I didn't need. I got to prune myself, so to speak. And with that being said, this is where I'm at today. I'm a proud daddy. I'm closer to my family than I've ever been. I work full-time, doing what I love, chasing my dream of becoming an electronic engineer. So it actually turns out that my 4th grade science project passion stuck around for the long haul. And that's basically where I'm at today. That's my story. I don't want it to be a sob story, and I know it sounds like a traumatic experience, but believe it or not, I'm super grateful for everything I've been through. And I owe it all to my family and my friends and everyone who supported me in my life. And I couldn't imagine myself being any happier than in the shoes that I'm wearing today. With that being said, thank you for listening, and I hope you all have a great day.